Join me in welcoming Max Homa, Southern California native and course record holder. Max, can you believe it's been 10 years since Pac-12, but talk about a few memories since that.
Yeah, I was playing with Michael Kim today, and we were talking about that. I felt real old. It does not feel like 10 years. But it's cool to be back here. I've only played twice since the Pac-12s back then. It's just a really cool place. I took my mom to the Walker Cup here, so we could watch Colin. So yeah, I have some cool memories of that. But yeah, I mean, it feels kind of like the same place. They added some tees, but nothing crazy. It's just a really great golf course in my favorite city in the world. So it's nice to be here.
Talk a little bit about U.S. Open in your hometown.
Yeah, it's special. I was just been thinking about how, I don't know, when you grow up and we all have that cliche joke, putt to win the U.S. Open, putt to win the Masters. I mean, you don't picture the golf course except if it's at Augusta. I've done it with Riviera, putt to win, at the time, L.A. Open or whatever, now the Genesis. And to have a major in my hometown, 18-ish miles from where I grew up, I think that's, dream come true. It's already been fun with the fans out there. It's I get, on a regular basis, I get people yelling my college if they went there, but getting people yelling my high school is different. So it's been awesome.
John Rahm was up there today, said he doesn't see another 61 out there this week, but talk a little bit about what you're seeing out of the golf course.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely, when I got here Sunday and Monday, it wasn't too firm, and I played with JT yesterday, and he probably could have shot 61 if we played 18 holes. So it's firmed up a lot since then. The 9 holes we just played, it's going to be pretty hard. So yeah, I think the sun being out's real helpful. The little bit of wind's going to make it spicy. I hope it's carnage. I hope it's a typical U.S. Open. This golf course lends itself to that. It's generous enough off the tee, and it's kind of a second shot golf course in a way. You can get around here probably hitting a lot of shots from the fairway, but you're going to have to hit really quality shots. The greens are severe, and if they can keep getting firmer and a bit faster, I think that it'll be a really good test, because I think it'll be really fair. We had, I guess, one of the more severe U.S. Opens I've been to was Winged Foot, but it's so penal off the tee that once you mess that up, it's just everyone's doing the same thing. This course will be a lot different. I think it'll be a great test of all areas of your golf, and it'll really show what a quality shot will go to a good spot, and one that's not great is going to go to a bad spot, and you're going to see a lot of kind of silliness go on. So I think this venue is awesome for U.S. Open.
We're going to go to front right, Dylan, and then Joel.
How do you manage the distractions that come with the Open being in your home city? Do you throw your phone away for the week? Do you not respond to people till later? Is this not even that distracting compared to normal tournaments?
I guess it's a little more. I'm fortunate that my friends texted me weeks ago about wanting to come out. I think if you're texting me now to try to get a ticket, probably won't get a response. I did try and at least plan, a month or two ago, how I'd go about it. So, yeah, if I didn't respond to you this week and you're somehow watching this, I'm sorry, but it's just it's a lot, but it's been a lot for a month leading up to it, all the excitement and this, that, or whatever. So I've just looked at it as it's really cool. It's really cool that last night I got to have dinner with 2 of my best friends. All that, being somewhere I'm comfortable, having, my dad was out there walking the practice round today, stuff like that never gets happened. So I'm just trying to look at all the great stuff. And then it's hard for me to say no to people. It's hard for me not to be as helpful as I can. But this week is, I want this to go smoothly. I don't want to feel overwhelmed. At Riviera, it can get overwhelming even. So I'm trying to take a step back and be maybe a little more less helpful at times. But I also have a pretty cool crowd here. My agent, Matt, and has been very helpful dealing out tickets to my buddies. I found out, just been texting him instead of me, so that's been nice.
Joel?
You mentioned the interaction with the fans thus far. Is there a balance between appreciating that this is a national championship and the fans are pulling for you versus, there is still a competition and work to be done?
I guess every week is kind of the same. It's just still kind of just cool to have people know your name and root for you. So I just find that awesome. To have maybe a few more here this week, just because I'm from the area, is also great. But yeah, I don't find it as anything other than that. It's just kind of fun. You go to sporting events and you root for your team, and in this little, I guess not little, in this big city, we have a big championship. So to have maybe a few more of those people, I just think is it's just, again, that's why it's so special to have a major here for me, just because this event, it means a lot to all of us. All 4 majors mean a ton, but this event to the Americans is our championship. So to have just if it was anywhere, it would be special, but just that added bit of excitement being here, I think it's all positive. There's nothing really negative I could say about that. I can't wait for the event to start to hear all the noise, because like I said, at Riviera, this year was wild. So I can't imagine if something like that were to happen here.
Front left to Selma from First Tee.
Hi. So as stated before, you're from SoCal. Do you feel that you have a bit of a leg up compared to other players who have grown up playing elsewhere? This is a home course advantage, so to say. You're familiar with the weather and the course conditions. So do you feel that you have a leg up?
Probably not on the weather. I feel like everyone's quite pleased with the weather here. But yeah, just little things. I always say it, but knowing where my hotel is, knowing where the locker room is here, knowing what the golf course looks like, having played it before, so that the practice rounds don't feel like we're relearning a golf course. We're not just seeing it for the first time. That can always just be a little difficult. And I know a lot of people hate Poana, and there's some Poana here, so that's always nice being in Southern California. But yeah, any leg up is valuable with how great all these golfers are. So I do look at that as a bit of a boost. All the guys who played the Pac-12s here, anybody who had played here prior, it's definitely a bit of an advantage.
And just another question. This is a notoriously difficult course, and they have done some renovations. So what do you keep in mind as you're playing with these challenges that are presented?
Bogeys are okay. I'm going to remind myself of that because I don't do that so well. I'm going to do a better job of that this week. Bogeys are all right. It's a hard golf course. You're going to hit some good shots that go in some really weird spots. But if you keep hitting good shots, you'll make some birdies and make up some ground.
We're going to go
Thanks.
right behind you to Brentley.
Max, 15, I think the likelihood is that on Saturday it plays 78 yards. What's the thought process and your strategy for that hole at that shorter length?
Make it, I think. Yeah, it's different. You're going to have to spin the life out of it and hit your number. Quite thankful Mark Blackburn has been so hard on me of getting my wedges good, because that little shot is awkward. But there's a couple ways to play it. You can go long left and try to spin it off the bank. You can kind of go a little bit more at it, or try to miss it almost right of it so that you're putting or chipping uphill. But it is amazing to me. I'm not going to say sit up here and say I'm some architect buff by any means, but it's amazing when you look at this golf course. They have 2 of the longest par 3s that we'll play, hopefully, and the coolest hole's 78 yards. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It'll be great to watch on TV. When I came here for the Walker Cup, my mom and I sat behind 15 green, because you could see 14 and 16 and 11, and it was so fun watching everybody just kind of make a mess of this little dinky hole. So I'm looking forward to the fans getting to enjoy that this week.
And then just to add, you mentioned spin. Colin said that he almost tees up like a lob wedge just to get that extra spin. Is that something that you would think of doing? Or?
Yeah, I did it at Pac-12s. That was the thing all the kids did. I grew up on a par 3 course, and if you tee a lob wedge up like 3 inches, and you can spin the life out of it. So I did that on Sunday at the Pac-12s. So I'm planning on probably doing that again this year. You're going to need you just want that thing to stop. And with how firm they can get this place, and that hole was playing downwind the other day, you're going to need it to be coming in as soft with as much spin as you can, even if you do play the long left route. So I think it'll be cool. You're going to watch professional golfers use some creativity, and that's definitely one trick that is quite useful.
Center right to Ben.
Hey, Max. whenever there's a local angle in sports or something like this, they say the danger for the person like yourself is they might try too hard. How does that look in golf?
You just look at how I played every other major, trying way too hard. So I'm quite good at that. This actually has been almost a welcome change, is because I've been so prepared to try too hard at this event in particular. So I've been more keen to avoid doing that. So in an odd way, it's almost worked its way out positively, because I've been thinking about this event for like a year, about how can't try too hard. Forgot about all those other majors that you also shouldn't do that at. So fortunately, I'm coming off a PGA championship that I tried too hard at, and it's right on the tip of my brain not to do that this week. So hopefully this is the one I'm a little bit more easy on myself.
Is there a specific, I guess, moment you can point to that you can look back and say, that was a moment I did that? Like, can you get it to more granular?
There's a lot of them. But yeah, I mean, I think I've seen examples, and it's just generally just trying to be too perfect. When you're trying too hard, you care just too much about where the ball goes, and you're going to hit fairways, you're going to miss fairways, you're going to hit greens, you're going to miss greens, you're going to hit putts that go in and some that miss. So I think it just comes down to just stacking those up over the course of a week and seeing where that takes you. Like I said, I've done a very poor job of that in a lot of big golf tournaments, but especially the majors. And I've done a good job of it in some other events. So I'm just trying to find whatever is in those moments where it's been great and take that to a championship like this.
Back to Dylan, front right.
There was some news announced last week involving the PGA Tour and LIV and the Public Investment Fund, and I was just wondering if you've been able to make sense of it, and if you know where the future of pro golf is now headed.
I know as much, if not less, than you, so I'm probably not able to make a real opinion. It's a lot to take in. It obviously took all of us by surprise. So yeah, it's just, at this moment, it is what it is. I look forward to maybe learning some more about it and what exactly the deal is. I was on the phone quite a bit that Tuesday with players and a couple meetings, pack meeting, whatever, and felt like I learned a ton, and then everybody was in every article in the world. So I don't think I am any more knowledgeable about this. So making my opinion is, I guess, ever changing. So it's actually nice to be as confused as I am here, because I'm not really thinking about it anymore. I'm ready to just go play golf.
Did you try to learn more about it after that initial day, or have you just kind of now shut it off?
Yeah, I tried, but then I guess I realized it's so complex. I need a lot more time than I was willing to give to learn every in and out of it. So yeah, I guess I think we were all curious, and we're all, I guess, skeptical of things or whatever, but I trust the guys at the top doing what they're doing. But I mean, I guess I'm a lowly golfer here. I'm not a businessman. I don't really get how all of it works. And the more I've tried to learn, the more I've just gone in circles. So at some point, I just have to leave it up to them and wait for more information, I guess, to come out.
Adam on your left.
What do you remember from shooting that 61 here?
Sad. This is why golf's so bad. I remember not getting up and down from the front bunker on 6 for birdie, and I remember 3-putting 8, so I could have shot 59. So that bothers me. But I remember I didn't really make a lot of long putts, but I made a few good, good size mid-range putts, and I just felt like I was putting uphill all day. Obviously hit it. I mean, I did everything great, but I just remember putting uphill all day. Yeah, I made birdied 14 through 17, which was awesome. But just, we've all had those days in golf where, as professionals, where just everything's clicking. It was really cool that it happened during the Pac-12 championship on this golf course. It's nice when those things line up when they really matter, and not when I'm playing my friends who I'm giving 6 shots to at home and it doesn't really matter. So I just remember it all clicking, but it just felt so easy. And then we had to play 18 holes right after that, because we got a 36-hole day, and the golf course was not nearly as easy as I remembered it 1 hour prior. And I just hung on for dear life for 3 more rounds.
Your record at the majors not up to what you probably want it to be. Anything you're going to try to do this week to change that?
Play better is. I really do believe that my golf game's plenty good enough to contend in these things. I think I've shown that in the PGA Tour events. I've won 6 times. A lot of them recently. I've done it on some pretty great golf courses, some hard golf courses. I just think I get here and I try too hard. Parts of me that I really like is like I'm a perfectionist, and it makes me work really, really hard. I'm very diligent, but the same part has it's like a double-edged sword. I get in these things, and I can't seem to separate. I can't seem to understand that it's okay to make bogeys, and it's okay to mess up, and it's okay. Like, you're going to get on runs, you're going to do all these great things if you just let yourself, and I've done a poor job of that. I mean, Oak Hill was a perfect example. Thursday morning, I had the greatest warm-up I've ever had. Joe and my coach, I mean, we were just like, and in my head, I'm thinking, finally, like, I have it. I didn't have it at Augusta. My game felt terrible, which was almost helpful because I went around that place just playing the golf course. Didn't have a good result, but I after 2 days, I was at least somewhere in the middle, the top of the pack, 20th place or whatever. And I felt like, oh, okay, now, and then I got hard on myself again on the weekend. Then Oak Hill, I have this great warm-up, and I came out and hit a perfect drive down the middle of the fairway, missed the green, and immediately went into fight or flight. And that's just kind of something I just need to get over. And, I'm learning, and I'm trying my best. But what's nice is I come into this event, got good work in with my coach, Mark, last week. Come in here, things feel the same. It's a nice short flight for us. And game feels great. It's just gotta control what's between my ears. And I don't know. I'm waiting for one of these weeks to. I think I've been waiting for the weeks to click with my golf game and not realizing that it's not the golf game. So this week will be a mental test for me, which is good.
Brentley?
Max, I'm curious how often you talk to Coach Des, and I guess the second part of that is how do you feel he's shaped you as a golfer and a person? A
little bit. It's usually him sending me like a novel. So it takes quite a while to read, and I can just picture him typing it because I know his letters are quadruple the size of the ones I use in text messages. So I imagine how long that takes him. But yeah, he did such a great job. It is really interesting. Peter Tomasulo, who I saw today, he was kind of like my mentor while I was at school. Des set me up with meeting him, I think, after my freshman year. And when I turned pro, we were traveling around a lot together, hanging out a lot. And it's always, especially in golf, your head coaches you butt heads so much. It's such an individual sport. You're not used to somebody telling you what to do, where to be all the time. And he told me, he's like, when you get older, you're going to appreciate so much of it so much more. And I really have. He was really hard on me, but I appreciate when people are hard on me. He pushed me, and he really, really cares about me and all the players he's had. So, so much of what Des did, I think we did, and we're too young and dumb to recognize that. And as I've gotten older, I have grown to be very appreciative of all the hard work he's done for not only myself but for the program. I mean, we were a club team when he got there 50 years ago, whatever it was, and it turned into, they won a national championship in 2004. Our team has so much success, and then he gets, Colin Morikawa after. I mean, that stuff's pretty awesome. So I'm really appreciative of what he's done for, the Cal golf team, and hope that continues going forward.
2 more right here.
How about the pairing the USGA gave there with Colin the first 2 days? You excited about that?
Yeah, I'm going to keep this joke that I used last year, but it's I know the U.S. Open does themes. The USGA does themes for the for their first and second round pairing. So it's nice they put the 3 good-looking guys together yet again. But it's great. I was joking with Colin. I tried to play with him. I guess our round would have been today, and he had his media at a time he didn't know about, or he mistook, so he had to bail. And then we got our tee times yesterday, and I told him, you can't really hide from me. I'll find you at some point. So I'm glad I get to go walk around with him for 36 holes, and it's always cool playing with Scotty. He's obviously just a tremendous golfer, really nice dude. So it's a very fun pairing. I mean, U.S. Opens, like I said, are always exciting and big, but get to play with those two guys who have had such great success in majors and so young and just make golf look so easy. It's fun to get to go walk around with them.
Last one, Joel.
Max, a second ago, you mentioned, at least when it comes to majors, it's not necessarily the golf game, it's something else that's not working. Do you find that fun to try to figure out what that answer could be, or is it more vexing?
I think if I start to find the fun in that, I think that's when it'll start to click. So that's been a goal. Mark told me, we had a long talk Saturday night at the house at PGA, and he asked me what I found fun about golf. And unfortunately, what I find fun about golf is playing good golf, and that doesn't happen all the time. So he's kind of tasked me with finding what can be fun that's more under your control. So I've been kind of workshopping that, and yeah, I mean, I do believe that once I start to see the joy controlling your own mind, what that can bring you, I think I'm going to start to make that more of a priority, or at least be more in tune with it. But it's a work in progress. It's hard to practice it other than when, the bell goes off Thursday. But it's been on the very tip of my mind since the PGA, and I'm really excited that in 2 days I get to go work that out.
Max, thanks for your time. Good luck this week.
Thank you, guys.